Okay, we're back with another behind the scenes for Patreon, and Steve has asked me to go over a little bit of our new CPU testing methodology. This video was originally going to be mostly about issues that we were having with the 3990X, but we haven't really been having any issues. The other Threadripper CPUs we've tested in the past have been very difficult when it comes to running games and being stuttery, but so far the 3990 has given us basically zero issues. So instead, we'll just go over some of the new testing that we're setting up for the next round of CPU tests. We've kind of moved away, as far as games that we're doing, we've moved away from Total War Warhammer 2 to Total War 3 Kingdoms. We've moved from F1 2018 to F1 2019. We're keeping a few of the old tests in there. We're keeping Shadow of the Tomb Raider in there, but updating the build number that we're using. There's not a newer Tomb Raider game out right now, obviously. We're keeping Hitman 2 because it's very easy to run and replicate, and we're keeping Grand Theft Auto 5, even though it is, at this point, I think a 7-year-old game. Just because everybody plays it. It is continuously popular and very easy to run and repeat, and a great way to validate against our old CPU testing results that we already have logged. As far as difficulties with testing this CPU, I mean, we've got it on loan for a little while. The only major thing we've run into is our lack of functional TRX 40 boards. We got 4 boards, which at the time seemed like a lot when we were doing our initial Threadripper 3000 reviews, but one of them, this one, Steve has kind of commandeered for XOC testing, so it's got Vaseline all over it. One of them has bent pins. That's the one we used for our original reviews, so that's out of commission. One of them is the ASRock Tai Chi that we don't really want to use for testing right now. And the other one, the TRX40, I get the socket and the chipset names mixed up now. The other board we have for Threadripper 3000 is currently dedicated to our new production system that we built with Brian from BTS Customs. And that's never coming out. I don't think any of us want to unbuild that system any more than just taking the CPU out for testing. So I've got Steve's XOC board here for testing. The Vaseline doesn't hurt anything, it's just annoying to work with. So I can take us around the room a little bit and update on some of the other things we've got going on here. In this corner over here, so we've got a ton of power supply testing equipment and power supplies set up over here. That's for content that we'll be producing in the future. And the wind tunnel, eternally unused, but as always, I promise we will do fan testing and front panel testing in the near future. It is always planned and always pushed off because there's always more important things to do, but it is coming. We've got another power supply here. This is, I think, one that we replaced because it was too low voltage, but still useful for other projects than the one we had in mind. We've got the liquid cooling bench over here with right now an old Kraken X62 on it. That's nothing new, but we're testing against other NZXT products. Just a normal cooling bench over here with another liquid cooler on it that will get cut out if it's under embargo right now. I'm not sure about that. And over here I'm setting up an X299 bench to test against the Threadripper bench. This is X299X, but as I have been informed by Steve multiple times, that doesn't actually mean anything. It's just X299 with an X on the end of it. But yeah, this has nothing on it right now. I'll do a fresh install of Windows and get our new test set up. Part of that that I didn't mention earlier is we're also doing new production workload tests. We're updating some of the software like V-Ray and 7-Zip that we already use for some, not synthetics, production tests. And we're adding Chromium compile, and a couple other benchmarks that I think will be useful to people. We're going to keep our Adobe suite testing and expand on that. Here we've got some hardware that a viewer sent in. We're not going to take the cooler off of here and show you what the CPU is, because that's the exciting part. But the viewer was kind enough to send along a Maximus 7 Hero with a full complement of RAM, which I've already put away as well for testing. But look forward to the CPU because that's the exciting part. And over here, we've reorganized the case testing hardware. So now I've got 4, 5, if you count this, stories of storage for all the motherboards that I half test and then shove off in the corner because there's other testing to do. And we've got a case that is definitely under embargo, so let's not show that. This one's just the video goes blurry right there because Josh can't show you the case. But yeah, that's what we're up to right now. Please look forward to the new CPU testing. I think it'll be a little more expansive and maybe relevant for production workloads. We're really looking forward to getting a compile test in there that is hopefully less or is hopefully more reproducible than the GCC compile test that we were running earlier and kind of gave up on. This one already looks more stable and more reliable. So we'll see you next time. Maybe Steve will be in the next one. Catch you later.